Hey everyone, welcome to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. My name is John. I am your warden for the evening, and going around the horn, we have a full house.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Matt.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ted.
All right, intros out of the way. Pretty easy. So welcome everybody. We know a lot of people are returning to 3D6 Down the Line after we finished our last campaign of the Halls of Ardenvoul Mega Dungeon, which was 115 episodes long, over two and a half years of real game time. So this is our first true episode 0 in a long time. We will see how it goes. We are shifting gears completely. The new campaign, as you can see in front of you, is Mothership, the sci-fi horror game, role-playing game by Tuesday Night Games, designed by McCoy. And we are super excited to play it. We're going to be running through the published campaign called Gradient Descent, which is, to put it very succinctly and not giving it its due credit, a mega dungeon in space.
Yes.
It goes up.
It's a lot more than that, but to put a, give it the quick little byline. That's what we're looking at here. So we're super excited to dive right in. We're going to be doing character generation tonight. We're going to be walking through these guys with it, and also teaching everyone out there how it goes. And then we're going to talk about the campaign itself and kind of give it a framework of what we're looking at here, and just kind of talking about the game and just sort of chilling out and building characters. It should be pretty fun. So if this is your first time tuning in to 3D6 Down the Line, welcome. We hope that you enjoy what you have in front of you. We are a bunch of longtime friends who have played, a number of us have played with each other for close to 25 years. All of us have been playing for a long time together, though, regardless. And basically what we do is we basically just turn a camera on what our real life sessions actually are like, barring the fact that we are now remote. This is how we play. So what you see is what you get. We tend to focus on independent TTRPGs, and a lot of those games that we tend to enjoy and showcase on the channel do fall under the OSR/NSR heading, old school or new school Renaissance heading. We just tend to gravitate towards that playstyle. We have published 2 campaigns already. One is a shorter 22 episode long Dolmenwood campaign back when it was under the old school Essentials system. And our most recent campaign, as I said before, was our 115 episode long Halls of Ardenvoul Mega Dungeon, also using the old school Essentials rules. We also are running concurrently to this campaign. Hasn't started quite yet, but by the time, if you're watching this in the future, we'll already have a bunch of them. We're going to be running a concurrent campaign of a return to Dolmenwood using the actual Dolmenwood rules, and that will be Patreon paid member exclusive. However, episodes 0 and 1 are available to watch for free. So definitely tune into that. And we are most proud, I would say, you guys can feel free to disagree, but don't, that we're most proud of the fantastic community that we've engendered over the past couple years, specifically and mostly centralized to our Discord server. We have a fantastic server. It's open to the public, and we have a lot of really great people supporting us and engaging in lots of fun discussion on the server. So there are links for that all down below, so do check it out, please. All right, let's focus in here on Mothership. So what are we talking about here? First of all, it is not just generic sci-fi, right? So this is not a Stars Without Number or a Traveler or GURPS or anything like that, right? It's very, very focused on being a survival horror sci-fi game, which is a very specific genre. So I know that the common view for horror RPGs is that it's very difficult to do horror for RPGs, and it was really cool to see in what's the Game Master's Guide for this game, which is called the Warden's Operations Manual, which just won a gold Ennie at Gen Con, actually, gave fantastic advice about the fact that it's impossible to experience horror in a role-playing game the same way that you would experience it in a movie or a television show, right, where you're passively engaging with it. With a participatory role-playing game, it's more about just keeping the tension applied at all times. Your characters are experiencing horror while you as players may not. So this is not something that we have to change the way that we play, because we do tend to like joke around and talk out of character a lot and that sort of thing. So cracking jokes is totally fine. We don't have to like quell that instinct to do so. It's totally normal. It's just the
Oh, good.
yeah, there are mechanics that are core to the game: stress and panic, fear saves, sanity saves, and all that sort of stuff that reflect how your characters are actually feeling and reacting. And my job as the warden is just to kind of keep the tension going all the time. And I think with our experience having played Ardent Fool, which was basically a horror game, we're probably pretty comfortable with doing that. Okay, so let's dive right in and start making some characters. We'll just talk about the game as we sort of go. I'm just sort of feeling this out as we go. So I'm going to pop over here and just show everyone what character sheets we're working with here. So this is the guided character sheet, which is really, really cool. It's in the player survival guide. It basically it acts as a character sheet and walks you step by step through how to make a character. It's great. It is a masterpiece of information design, as is most of the game. So let's start there. Let's open up my player survival guide here and we'll walk through it. Okay, step 1. Everyone got the character sheets out?
I'm ready.
Cool. All right. So for this game, the base dice that we're using is D percentile. So D100 is the basic dice that you're using for almost every roll. There is a specific use for the D20, but we'll get into that later. So for your stats, you have 4 stats: strength, speed, intellect, and combat. And you'll note here on the character creation thing, it says this is how well they act under extreme pressure. So you're going to roll 2d10 and add 25 and write that in lightly in the circles, because that will probably change based on the class that you take. So before you start rolling, this is a really, really important thing to understand about this game so that you don't get butthurt from constantly failing rolls. As they say, the stat is 36 is average. It means 36% chance of succeeding, which is just a little over a third, right? So you're going to fail way more often than you're going to succeed. And the key thing to remember here is that you're only rolling dice when you're under extreme duress, in a massive amount of danger, or there's like something really, really large at stake. This fits in nicely with our old school play style that we've been doing for a long time, where we basically,
Gotcha.
you know, me as a GM, you just say what you want to do. If it seems reasonable, I'm just going to let you do it without having to roll any sort of dice. So you don't have to worry about worrying about that your intellect is super, super low. You can apply your own player intelligence to tasks, and I'm not going to make you roll, and then you have this fear of failing on it. It's how you bring your intellect to bear when shit is hitting the fan. That's when you have to actually roll the dice. Okay, so there will not be that much dice rolling in this game, so just be aware. I don't want to see sad faces and moaning, Mike, when they roll low on their stats. And apologies to everyone out there, but this game is not a 3d6 down the line based stat generation game, so we can't roll 3d6 down the line. We're just not allowed. So we're not going to change the name to 2d10 plus 25 down the line.
Couldn't quite roll off the
Time for a rebrand.
Just
Yeah.
gonna have to deal with it. All right. So let's go around the horn, and then for like the next step, we'll go like the opposite way. So Mike, why don't you roll us your 4 stats real quick and tell us what they are?
All right, sounds good. I am going to be rolling on my for good luck, I'm going to be rolling on my new copy of Knock.
Hell yeah! Everyone buy Knock. It's amazing.
Yeah, all right. So strength, 2d10 plus 25. I rolled a 5 and a 3. Math is not my strong point. I think that's a 33. Speed is going to be a 6 plus 25. So 31.
That's 31.
Mediocre. That's not even mediocre.
Well,
You already did it. You already did it.
optimistically.
Too late.
All right, so that was better. That was a 9 and a 6. So that'll be 15 plus 25. So 40 for intellect.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
40 for intellect.
There.
And then combat. I'm not a kind of player that likes to do a lot of fighting.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's a lot.
And I rolled a 10 and a 6.
Oh, all right.
And a 6, yeah, it's a 6.
41.
Yeah, so that's going to be 41.
All right. David, stats.
All right, it's my turn. Let's see. First roll. That is a 5 and a 4, so it's a 9 and 25 is, do the math, 34. All right, next up. Got a 5 and a 3, it's an 8, it's a 33. Now for intellect. Ooh, a 0 and a 3.
So it's 13.
That's good.
Oh, sorry, 10. Sorry, it's a 10. Yeah. Oh. My heart skipped a beat there for a second.
How long have you been playing this game?
I'll see a 0 every single time and just panic for a moment. It doesn't matter how many years. Okay, so 13 and 25 is
38.
And then for combat, that is 19. Whoa.
Whoa.
I was going to make the joke while Mike was rolling that I swear to God, that I was probably going to roll a really high combat score and then infuriate Mike by never fighting the entire campaign. And rather than saying it before, I'll just say it now because it's 100% going to happen. So,
if there's a game out there where combat is a fail state, I think this is probably it.
This is definitely definitely that game.
They said
it's a
it explicitly.
44 in combat. Yeah.
44. Great. All right, Matt.
Okay, I'm rolling strength. Okay, that's a 4 on the die, so that's a 29. Not the strongest guy.
Old space noodle here.
Okay, that is an 11 for speed, so that's what, 36?
36, yeah.
Yeah. Intellect.
Average.
Oh, that's a 2.
Yes.
2? You rolled a 1 and a 1?
You rolled 2
I
on
did.
Snake Eyes?
Do I win something? Do I get a prize?
My sympathy. That's what you win.
Yeah.
We know who's going first.
You get the first cryopod out of this.
What? Which way is out of the pod? Okay, and the last one is a 9, so 34. 34 combat.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. Ted.
Okay. Nice. 17 plus 25 is what, 43?
Ooh,
32, right?
big and burly.
And then a 7, so that's a 32. So big and slow so far. 6, so 31. Big, slow, dumb. But an 11 for combat, so that's 36. Okay.
Art imitates life, Ted, you know?
What was your strength, Ted?
It totals out to 42.
Whoa, okay.
Whoa.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So remember, though, that these stats specifically, not your saves, but these stats are not indicative of like your makeup, right? Again, this is how you react under pressure. So like Ted obviously has like by far the biggest strength, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Ted looks like Arnold, right? It's just that like when it comes to the shit hitting the fan, maybe he gets surges of adrenaline or something like that and can make things happen. You know, like that's one way that you interpret it. So just be aware.
Sure,
All right,
sure.
going.
Or he looks like Arnold, which is
Or he
really
looks like
kind of a better way to play that.
Yeah. I'm just saying like there are ways to interpret this that don't necessarily reflect that this is just what you are at all times, right?
It's like the
because-
mom
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot when I'm scared.
Their kid kind of thing, and the moments of stress. So
Right. Always you picture it moments of stress. Okay, let's go back around the line. We'll start with Ted this time. Let's do saves. So we have 3 saves.
all right.
Sanity, fear, and body. For this, you're going to roll 2d10 as well, but you're only adding 10 to the result. You can kind of extrapolate what that means mathematically for your chances of making a save are even lower than making a stat check. So yeah.
All right. So my rolls are 12, 15, and 8, which gives me a 22, a 25, and an 18 for my sanity, fear, and body saves.
All right. Cool.
So not too bad.
All right, Matt.
All right. So Matt, yeah.
Okay. Oh, here they are. I threw them away because they did bad. Okay, sanity. That is a 5 on the die, so it's a 15 for sanity. That's great.
2d10, right?
That's
You're
all
rolling
right.
2d10?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think so.
I used some different dice, man.
No, these are great. Okay, that's a 9, so a 19 for fear. And body, here we go, baby. Here's the big whammy. Okay, that's a 15, so 25. 25
Nice.
for body.
All right,
That's nice. Yeah, that's good.
David.
Not too bad. Not too bad. All
Hoorah.
right.
2d10 plus 10.
First up, sanity. All right, that's a 6 and a 9. My favorite number combo. All right, so
Hey.
15. Stupid. I'm embarrassed of saying that. It's a bad joke. All right. Okay, so where was I? So 25 sanity. That is a 18. So 28 fear. And last but not least for body. And I'm rolling great. Not as good this time. 7. So 17 for body.
Okay. And last Mike.
All right.
2d10 plus
all right.
10.
Sanity. Ooh, a 9 and a 6. So 15, 25 for sanity.
Cool.
Nice.
6 and a 2. So that's 18 for fear. Oh, I rolled a 19 for body. So that's 29 for body.
Very nice.
Nice.
Right on.
Okay, so the difference between stat checks and saves is pretty much the same as anyone who's familiar with D&D is. It's basically stat checks are for proactive things that you're trying to do. Saves are for reactive things that you're trying to avoid. However, like what they encompass are a little bit different than what you might be used to. So sanity, I know I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. We're going to do case by case basis, but the difference between sanity and fear can sometimes be a little confusing. I'm sure I and you guys will probably get a little confused as we kind of play, but we'll work it out. But the book makes a good point that sanity is rationalizing logical inconsistencies in the universe, making sense out of chaos, and detecting illusions and mimicry, and coping with stress. Fear is maintaining a level head while struggling with fear, loneliness, depression, and other emotional surges. So fear, not that it's a misnomer, but it encompasses a lot more than just being afraid, right? It's like emotional surges. And body is probably the easiest one to recognize. We all know what body is. For your stats, strength, speed, intellect, and combat, it is basically what it says on the tin. It's just interesting that different than like a D&D sort of game is that there is actually a combat stack that is not tied to strength, right? So strength is purely just physical manipulation of objects and things versus combat, which is actually fighting.
So, John, do saves? So, are they basically? They're also percentiles. So, if you're in a situation and you're like, Mike, make a sanity save. I assume I'm trying to roll 25 or lower.
Yes, everything's just everything you're rolling, every single die roll except for one in the game is for D percentile roll low.
Okay.
Right. So, for both stat checks and save, you're trying to roll low, and this is key. I know we're going to forget this. I know I will too. You must roll under the stat. Hitting the stat is a failure.
Okay.
Okay. You must roll under. All right. For everything. Every time you fail one of these rolls, a stat check or a save, you gain a stress.
Okay.
All right. Now, your stress will accumulate. That's natural over time. That's one of the main mechanics in the game. When your stress reaches certain points, or when I decide to do so, when it's appropriate within the game, I may ask you to roll a panic check, which is based upon your stress stat. Okay, that is where the one single unique die roll comes from, and that is a 20-sided die. And you're trying to hit. You're trying to roll over your stress level in order to pass. So the higher stress level, the more difficult it is to pass a panic check. If you fail a panic check, there's a whole chart of conditions that are really, really bad. You don't want to fight. You don't want to panic, basically. All right. So that's the basic way it works. Now, there are a couple of modifiers that can happen to these rolls in general. One is advantage and disadvantage. If you're familiar with 5e Dungeons & Dragons, it's basically the same thing except with percentile dice. So if I say you have, you're going to gain advantage or disadvantage based upon external circumstances. So if someone helps you, or if there is some sort of hazard in the way, I would give you advantage or disadvantage respectively. And in that case, you would roll 2 sets of D percentile and then take the better or worse, depending. And then the other modification is criticals. So if you roll doubles on the dice, you have a critical. If that double is a failure, it's a critical failure, and if the double is success, it's a critical success. And better things happen. We basically interpret it as the circumstances go. And Last thing, zeros across the board. So if you roll 2 zeros on your percentile dice, that is a 0, not a 100.
Oh,
And that's really, really good.
That's
That's a critical success. It's the best roll you could possibly get in the game. 90 to 99 is an automatic failure, no matter how high your stat is or what kind of bonuses you have, no matter
oh
what.
wow, okay.
All right. So if you see a 9 on the die, it's usually probably
Love
going to be in the 10s. It's going to be a bad thing. Okay. All right. Moving on. Class. All right, so there's 4 classes in the base game. Of course, a bunch of third-party sort of stuff that has other classes, but hey, we're just learning, so we're going to stick to these 4 classes for the nonce. They are the classic archetypes for sci-fi horror based upon a certain small movie, didn't really catch many people's imagination, called Alien. So we have Marines, androids, scientists, and teamsters. All pretty much as you kind of picture them. The only one that kind of probably needs a little bit of explanation is scientists. They can be any sort, like they could be a doctor, they can be a researcher, they can be an academician. Academician, is that the right word? Academician?
We'll have to ask one. We have to find one first and ask them.
So should I be the crew psychiatrist and just absolutely immiserate all of you by constantly psychoanalyzing you?
We go for an appointment now. Make a sanity save.
Right. If you are an android, which is pretty much as you kind of picture a bishop
Ash.
or what was this? Ash. Thank you. Yeah. They will. You can probably tailor like what they probably look like, but they're definitely more they look more human than they do robot, but they have very much robotic sort of personality. So it's always a very obvious thing that you are one. It's not hard to figure out. Okay, so for this campaign as well, there is no boundaries as far as party makeup. All right, I guess they do fill certain niches in the similar way that D&D classes do, but I just kind of get this vibe that it's not quite as important to make sure that you got all your bases covered. So if you want a party of all Teamsters, or if a couple of you think Teamsters is really appealing, then that's totally fine. We don't have to have a scientist. We don't have to have an android. Whatever, doesn't really matter. So, but we have 4 people, so if you want to fill all 4 roles equally, go for it. So,
well, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I know we don't get too much into like verisimilitude, but say you were a Marine, but everyone else is a Teamster. Like, how does that? How do you marry those together?
So that's going to be part of the campaign framework that I set up, and that might help you make a decision. So I'll just kind of give this little thing for you, just so you can kind of wrap your head around it. All of you, no matter what character you create, the campaign frame, which is something that the Warden's Operation Manual has, is sort of like what the framework of a bunch of sample frameworks for campaigns. The campaign framework I'm choosing for this campaign is a mining and salvage campaign frame.
Oh, okay.
As a result of that, you guys are going to be members of a salvage and recovery union, and it's called the Intersystem Salvage Workers Collective Local 181.
Love it.
That is
Rolls right off the tongue.
That is the ISWC 181.
Cool.
All right. So all of
what?
you do not get to choose to not be a union member. You are all members of that union. And
Close shop, baby.
All of you guys have worked together in the union on jobs for some time. So all of you guys will have known each other for a long time. So to answer your question, Mike, if you would like to be a Marine, that means that you had Marine military training in the past. You went on tours of duty in the past, right? And you can make up your reason for why you're no longer in the service. It could be honorable discharge. It could something happened or horrible, whatever.
Would it be appropriate to be then a team security person, or
Sure.
if we're based on a base, maybe I'm a security personnel from there, like a red shirt from Star Trek or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. But
I'm not saying I want to be a Marine. I'm just I'm questioning how that gets clumped into the rest of the group.
100%. It's just you wouldn't be like a contracted security company for the operation. You are actually a union member.
Gotcha.
So you would have to kind of reconcile that, like they have their own branch of security specialists or something like that, right?
And would that be the same for a scientist, or would you be a scientist?
Same thing.
That's now a minor. Okay.
Yeah, you're not all miners. You're
Geologists,
just members of the union, right?
Gotcha.
And the union represents all of the represents salvage and miners, but that doesn't
We
mean
might
that every
just all
single
have
person
different
works.
job descriptions in the group.
Yeah, like unions have like receptionists on the phone that have never touched a fucking tool in their life, right? You know what I mean?
I plan to play the janitor.
Yeah,
That's my goal.
I'd like to be the receptionist, John.
it's a loose binding thing, story element for you, but
Gotcha.
within that union, there's just an infinite amount of variety of jobs and places within that union to be. So just kind of keep it in mind.
Guys, I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other. I mean, obviously, I would. Teamsters are always kind of like amazing, right? Does anyone have like a strong pull for something?
What?
Does anyone have like a strong pull towards one of the archetypes?
I want to be a Teamster.
I kind of do too.
Well,
I'll tell you, I'm between Teamster and Android.
I was between Teamster because my stats are all like, but I also like the idea of this scientist who just like loses it under stress. Like he's a smart guy, he knows everything, but you ramp it up and he's just like, I don't know what to do, and he turns into an idiot. So
I love that.
I'm gonna go scientist with my
Okay, cool.
poor intellect.
So we
Then
have
I'm
a
going to go.
scientist.
Then just to kind of divide it all up, I'm going to go Marine.
All right.
Shocker. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to play, guys. Mike
Who would have
says.
figured?
Talks about Marines for 10 minutes.
I'll have you know, the only other time I played this game, I was Ed Plank, the Teamster, and it was amazing.
All right,
Yeah.
so we have a scientist and a Marine, and Ted, you're going Teamster?
Teamster, baby. Union strong. I'm going to sing Marseillaise and everything.
I could also do scientist. Wait, Matt, you're being a scientist.
He's a
Never
scientist.
mind.
I am, but you can still be. We can be, but
No,
scientist buddies.
no. I'm happy with that.
Same
Dude,
thing
the
with you, David.
Android
Professors on
Teamster.
Gilligan's Island. Yeah.
The Android has that minus 10 to 1 stat. That's like scary, man.
Plus 60 fear save, dude.
Yeah.
I know.
Mike, you're gonna die anyway, dude.
I know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Don't get too attached.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
I'm
do we
split down
make
the middle.
these? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, David.
I was going to say I'm split down the middle between Android and Teamster. I think it could either be very fun or mildly annoying for me to play an Android for everyone else.
I mean, why not both, David?
¿Por qué no los dos?
John,
Whatever,
do we
I'll
make
do it.
these?
I'll do it.
Do we make these
Why not?
stat changes in the block? Can we go ahead and make our stat changes then?
Yeah, we're gonna go over those real quick, but I just need to know what everyone chose here. So what's going on?
All right. So I'm definitely doing Teamster. I've already worked in my stat changes, which
All right,
gives me
Oh, hold on,
37.
David. Hold on, David.
sorry.
Hold on, Ted. I need to know what everyone classes are. So, David, what
No.
are you playing?
Android.
Okay, Mike, what are you playing?
Marine.
Okay, so everyone is going to do one or the other. All right, so Ted, yeah, back to you. You're a Teamster, so you're going to get +5 to all of your stats and +10 to all your saves. So they're like the generalist thing as far as like mechanical benefits.
Yeah, it's nice. So I got a 47 strength in the end. 37, 36, 41. And then my saves are 32, 35, 28, which is pretty respectable.
Pretty great. Okay, and Matt, you are going to be the scientist. So what does that bring? Go ahead.
My intellect went up to 37, which is
Okay,
much more respectable. I got was able to add a +5 to 1 stat. I added that to speed, so 41 speed.
Okay,
And added 30 to my sanity save, which gets it up to a 45.
that's
Not
great.
bad.
Okay, cool. And then David, you are an android. Okay, so
Yeah,
+20
so I get-
intellect.
So I have a 58 intellect.
Whoa.
Wow. I have to take one or 10 off one stat, and I'm, narratively it'd be very funny to have a 23 speed, but I think that will be a burden. So I'm gonna kill my combat from a 44 to a 34.
Okay.
That's
And
good.
then and then I have 88 fear.
Wow. Holy shit.
Oh,
Well, I rolled surprisingly well.
Yeah.
And I have +1 max wounds.
All right, great. And then Mike, Marine,
Yep. So my combat goes up to 51.
+10.
My body save goes up to 39. My fear save goes up to 38.
Great.
And then I get an additional wound as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right. Okay. So just as you can see here on the guided thing, they broadly define your character backgrounds. So I love this because it's very OSR play. This kind of describes what you've been doing for all of your life. So it makes it very easy to determine like what you're good at. So I can kind of make those calls like, oh yeah, you'd probably know this without even having to make a roll. Even though there are skills in this game, which we're about to step into pretty soon. They are not limiting. They're not like they don't represent your sole body of knowledge, right? So you can always make the case that because you are this class that you have this sort of knowledge, and I'm be open to hear it, sort of thing. And more than likely, I'll probably say like that sounds good. All right, so let's roll health. Okay, so you can suffer a certain number of wounds before you die. Each class has a different starting maximum wounds. You gain a wound when your health reaches 0. So most people start with 2 wounds as their maximum. However, the Marine and the Android, so that's the top of our line here, Mike and David, both have 1 extra. So you two have 3 maximum wounds. Ted and Matt, our scientist and our teamster, have 2 maximum wounds. So you're going to put that on the right side of the wounds field there. And you have current wounds that you have 0 for everyone. Okay. And then you're going to roll your health. I'll explain health after we roll it. So let's start on the top of the line here. Mike, roll a D10 and add 10.
7.
7. So you have 17. So you're going to put that in the right side of the health thing. That's your maximum health, 17.
And then my current is also 17, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. David?
Done.
Okay, what am I rolling again? Sorry.
D10 plus 10 for health.
D10 plus 10, easy enough. Okay, here we go. That is 12.
12. Okay, so 12/12 for your health.
Cool.
Matt?
I rolled a 1. I love this guy. I love this guy.
Great.
He's going to live the whole
He's
thing.
going to live the longest. We know this is the way.
I'm
All right.
5 alive.
So that's 11. Not actually 1, but you have 11 out of 11. And Ted?
That's 10 more than I need.
I rolled a 6.
Okay,
So 16 health. Nice.
All right. So
Matt,
who's got
you
the
made
most
it through
health?
Pirate Borg with 1 hit point. You can do this.
Is that
Yeah, I
Mike
can
with the
do it.
most? Do you have the most, Mike?
I have
17,
17. I
I
don't
think
know. I wasn't really paying attention to what everyone else got except for Matt.
He really cares.
Yes. Okay, so for health and wounds, it's a pretty cool, elegant system. So you're going to take damage, like hit point damage, like your health points, right? Just typical sort of thing. You're going to get shot, whatever, on fire, all that sort of nasty stuff. As your health goes down, once it reaches 0, you're gonna take a wound. All right. When you take a wound based upon the kind of damage it was, I have a chart that kind of determines like what kind of effects happen with the wound. It's always bad. It's always nasty. And then the moment that you go down to 0 in damage and take the wound, you're going to refill your health all the way back up to the maximum, and any carryover damage immediately gets subtracted from that again. All right. So you can zero out your health a number of times equal to your wounds. Okay. So technically, right, like Matt, who only has 11 health, technically has like 22 because he has 2 wounds, right?
Yeah.
So you can go around your health total twice before you actually die. Now, when you take your final wound, you have to make I think it's called a death save. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a death roll or something like that, where you roll a D10. We cover it up, and the moment that someone goes and checks on your body, we reveal what the D10 is, and there's a chart that determines what actually happens, one of which is death. So that's the way that damage works. All right, stress. So this is pretty easy. Your current stress and minimum stress both start at 2. So you're going to just write 2 out of 2, so you automatically start with stress just because life, man. Life.
Ran out of 6.
Yep. Just the man keeping you down. Trauma response. So each class deals with stress and panic differently, which comes into play later in the game. So you're going to mark your trauma response for future reference. So you can see under the step 6 there that each of the classes has a different one. We're just going to go over them real quick. So Mike, why don't you tell us what the Marines' trauma response is?
So whenever I panic, every close friendly player has to make a fear save. So I kind of picture that as if the Marine is losing his fucking mind, we're all fucked.
Exactly. And is why the android will always make that, usually make that save too, because they have such a high one. Yeah. And the android, David?
A fear saves made by close friendly players are at a disadvantage.
You can see how it compounds.
David's just standing there being creepy.
Does this mean emotionally close? Like if we just never like David, are we going to be good?
wait till I tell you what name I'm going to use. I already figured it out.
Oh, all right. Scientist, Matt?
Scientist, whenever you fail a sanity save, all close friendly players gain 1 stress.
It's similar to the Marine one in a different way. It's sort of like if the scientist is losing his shit, like things are not right.
You freak out.
Yeah. And the Teamster.
One of the reasons why I like Teamsters is once per session, I may take advantage on a panic check, which is to me basically like Teamster is sort of like, I've seen this before, and this particular monster is not covered under our collective bargaining agreement. I am not going to be responding to this monster.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Amazing. All right. So cool. So make sure you mark that down. I can easily look it up, but it's not going to be in front of my face all the time. So even though there are a lot of times they're like negative things, I need you guys to sort of be on top of what your particular response is.
All right.
Okay. Skills. All right. So each class comes preloaded with a certain relevant skills. They are listed at the top of that skill chart there. And you have a number of bonus skills you get to select on your own. The key rule here is that you must have at least one prerequisite skill to the left of the skill that you want with a line before you can choose the new one, right? So if we take, let's work backwards. So we'll work with Ted this time. The Teamster, right? You have a bonus trained skill and an expert skill. So it goes trained, expert, then master. So that expert skill that you want, that you get to choose freely, Ted, you still have to obey the prerequisite line from trained.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. So I automatically start with industrial equipment and 0G.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense for a Teamster. And then I'm thinking for this guy, I'm probably going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do. I kind of want to do like rim-wise hand-to-hand combat, but
I was going to ask, what is rim-wise? Is that like a streetwise kind of thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like the outer rim, basically, like the far frontier of the galaxy. You're kind of aware of like the underworld sort of activities.
I think instead, since we're like on a mining operation, I'm going to go with geology.
Ted, hold on. Before you settle in, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell this before we did it. I actually wrote down there are certain skills that are likely, they may never, but they're likely to come up in this campaign. So I don't want you to like invest in certain skills and then like be butthurt whenever like they never get called upon.
I would be butthurt.
So geology, was that one of them?
Yeah, I was going to do geology.
Yeah, that one's not going to be a thing. You can still choose it to just sort of like give yourself some flavor.
I'm going to go back to my gut then. I'm going to go with rim-wise and hand-to-hand combat. I'm just going to make my guy.
So here's.
By the way, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, David. Sorry.
It doesn't matter. I'll wait my turn. Sorry.
All right. So for the likely skills, these are ones that will probably benefit you. But again, don't get mad at me if they never come to the fore. But these are sort of what I anticipate being useful in the campaign. For trained skills, industrial equipment, jury rigging, chemistry, computers, 0G, athletics, and military training. Okay. A lot of them are very useful here. They get more narrow and focused the more expert they get, just so be aware. Expert explosives. This is also like a good like lore thing, like sort of what you'd expect in this mega dungeon. Explosives would be very, very useful. Field medicine, hacking, hand-to-hand combat, mechanical repair, mysticism, psychology.
I'm taking psychology, by the way. Yeah.
Can I ask then, John, like rim-wise, we're not going to be at space stations and hanging out in like
it's possible. Again, this is an open sandbox sort of thing. But so you it's just not something that I anticipate will come up that often. Right?
I see. Yeah. Okay, well then
hold on. And then the master skills that possibly might come in handy is artificial intelligence, command, engineering, robotics, and surgery. Okay.
Right.
So keep those in mind if you want me to repeat them or anything like that, or ask me if one of them will be relevant or not. Go ahead. I interrupted you, Ted. Go ahead. What are you thinking now?
Well, I'll switch it from rimwise to athletics then.
Okay.
So I'll take athletics as a trained skill, which leads me to hand-to-hand combat as an expert skill. So, I like to box or something in the gym after a hard day of mining and salvage.
Okay.
All right. So that's Ted.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yep.
So for the Marine, I get military training, athletics, and then it says a bonus, 1 expert or 2 trained skills.
Mm-hmm.
The expert skill that I take has to have the prereq of the trained one.
That's
before.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like a bonus. It's just you get to do the next advancement for that.
Yes.
For that one of your existing skills. Okay.
That's right. Yep.
Who's next, guys? Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in. I just
That's
want to
right.
clarify.
Matt is next.
All right. So as a scientist, I get 1 master skill and an expert and trained skill prerequisite. So working backwards, I thought it'd be cool to have like a very mechanically minded guy, right? So I want to start with robotics, work back through mechanical repair, and then as a trained skill, do jury rigging.
Okay, that sounds great.
I like it. That's rad. I like it.
And
we should note here too that the scientist is the only one at character creation start that gets access to a master skill. Period.
yeah.
And they also have a free range to choose as well. They don't have anything like pre-selected for them. Sorry, and you have a bonus trained skill too. Yeah,
That's true. And I was tempted to do industrial equipment, but that seems to make the guy very, very narrow.
Archaeology.
Want me to give you the list of
I was thinking
useful ones?
Yeah, so useful ones again. Yeah, please.
So trained was industrial. You got that jury rigging, chemistry, computers, 0G, athletics, and military training.
You know what? Computers.
Computers. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you
Cool.
have you have
heads up, I do start with computers by default. Doesn't matter. We can both have computers. We're just letting you know if that alters your
Yeah, one of us.
decision.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
Matt,
going to.
do you have something that connects to mechanical repair from trained?
Yeah, jury rigging does.
Jury rigging. Okay, cool. All right, just double checking. Cool, great.
Yep.
David.
All right. The Android starts with linguistics, computers, and mathematics. And as a bonus, either gets 1 expert skill or 2 trained skills. I'm of the mind that I should probably go ahead and take psychology, though taking art would be a very fun irony as an android. And if mysticism is useful, I can do that later on. But that requires me to gain more stuff later on. So I'm going to start with psychology, I think.
Okay.
And that'll be me.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you have a? Oh, you have linguistics as the connector.
Yeah.
Cool.
Basically, you're Deanna Troy merged with Data here. Is that what you're saying?
I am your wellness liaison.
You are the operations.
I don't feel well.
Okay, and Mike, our Marine, what do we get for you?
Okay, so I start out with military training and athletics, and then I get a bonus. For my bonus, I either get 1 expert skill or 2 trained skills. So I'm going to ask. I'm an unapologetic min-maxer. I want to know, John, is it harder to pick up a basic skill or to advance from a basic skill to an expert skill?
Harder? I'm not sure. That's a good question. It's hard no matter what. I'll tell you that
It
much.
really is.
Sure.
Yeah, it takes like years of downtime, right? Like, I thought I read that. Like, you have to go off planet and study for years and then come back.
Okay, so trained skills. To train a skill, to train a trained skill is 2. I'm just going to give you the time. It all costs like a lot of money. 2 years for a trained skill, and it takes 4 years for an expert skill.
Okay, that answers the question.
Yeah,
Because honestly, like the realistic, there's no realistic expectation of ever gaining an expert skill.
That's a scope thing for the campaign in general. Like we're not doing a mega dungeon crawl in the D&D sense where it's like turn by turn by turn. There could it's dependent upon you. There could very well be long stretches of time, right? So it's they wouldn't have put the rule in there if they didn't think they would be used in some way, shape, or form. So just kind of keep it in mind. It's not out of reach, but it's much more realistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess then I'm just trying to think like maybe to make a more well-rounded character. So if I start with military training and athletics, like a Marine would probably have 0G training as well. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking I would take the two bonus train skills and do 0G. And Matt, I know you already have jury rigging, but it feels like it's the kind of thing where, does anyone have industrial equipment?
I do.
Okay. So both jury rigging and industrial equipment are in the party already, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. And David has computers.
I have computers, yeah.
So basically,
I do. Yeah, I also have computers. Yeah.
Okay. It feels like we're gonna have a duplicate no matter what, and I just think that a Marine knowing how to jury rig stuff makes sense. So, Mike,
don't you want to learn how to paint, Mike?
Well, I wanted to ask this. So, John, maybe this is something that's in the warden's manual. I don't know. So, zoology leads you to field medicine and surgery. So if, for example, a Marine had zoology, does that give him access to some sort of relevant first aid skill or something?
Not really. No.
Not really. Okay.
Yeah. Not really.
Okay.
I would actually say, Ted, that basic field dressings would probably be part of military training.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So, okay.
And probably
John,
more aligned with your loadout if you get like a healing kit or something.
So John, I have military training, athletics, 0G, and jury rigging.
Okay, cool. So just for my own knowledge here, so that means that no one took hacking, right?
I was tempted.
And no one took artificial intelligence either, right? I'm just checking. No big deal.
No one can get
moving
to,
on.
Confused. No, but hold on. No one can get a master skill though.
Matt can take artificial intelligence.
I could.
No, it's a hard way to do because it's a master skill.
Yeah,
the thing is that Matt took one of the other master skills that John had outlined. He did not
robotics. Yeah,
nobody could take all of it.
Yeah, I'm just playing with you guys, sort of.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
John, I think therapy will be far more useful than hacking. I just have a feeling that's a skill I'm going to use a lot more.
Sounds like a psychologist. Okay. Yeah. All right. Before we take our first break here, let's just do the next step real quick. We're the first part of the next step actually. Let's roll loadouts. Those are fun. So there is an optional thing where you can just get a lump of credits and just spend them. But I'm going to make a call. I'm just going to say you guys are going to do a loadout.
That's more fun.
Okay, so we have one chart each for each of the classes. So let's see what you guys get.
All right.
So you're going to, this is on page 7 of the PSG, you're going to roll 1d10 on your class's loadout. And you guys can all roll at the same time. And then we'll start with Mike and go around and just let us know what you ended up getting. So Mike, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 2, which is standard battle dress, which gives me 7 armor points, and a combat shotgun with 4 rounds, plus a rucksack and camping gear.
Sweet.
I'm sure never going to come into play.
Okay, so anything that is underlined, you'll notice, is something that is not listed in the equipment list in the book. So it's sort of up to, just reasonable, within reason what that would account for. But camping gear is like a really good one to sort of be able to sort of, shift around to whatever you need it to be. Cool. So that's AP is armor protection, just so everyone knows. Armor protection for your armor. Basically, if any incoming damage will be stopped by that amount of armor protection, and anything over that amount will go through, but your armor is destroyed in the process. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. So standard battle dress is pretty darn good, but you are a Marine, so that tracks. David.
You're muted, David.
Said I can't make this up, y'all. I promise you, I have no intention of playing fucking Burke. I rolled 9, which gives me corporate attire and a VIP corporate key card.
Amazing.
I actually didn't want to be a corpo, but here we are.
There you go.
Well, you got the attire. It doesn't mean you're a corpo.
Well, no one knows anything I haven't provided them information for,
Yeah.
and I.
Weird that your corporate key card doesn't have your name on it.
Weird. It says Ren 4 for some reason. I don't know why.
Hey, but that nice suit actually does give you some armor protection. So there you go.
Yeah, AP1.
Once.
All right, scientist Matt, roll a d10.
I already rolled it, John.
Okay.
And if you guys just want to picture Dwight from The Office in space,
Okay.
Nice.
Oh no, you rolled a 9.
I rolled a 9.
Oh, geez.
I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, buttoned all the way up to the top, and that's it. Probably pants.
Probably pants.
I have a briefcase, a prescription pad, and a fountain pen.
But
Which is amazing because you're not a doctor, so you just have a stolen prescription pad.
We're
But
quite the
I-
duo, Matt. I think you and I really have some connective tissue here.
But I can inject poison, I guess, with my fountain pen.
yeah,
So I guess ink
kind
is
of weird.
that's pretty sweet.
All right.
And
Oh,
Ted,
boy.
the Teamster, what'd you roll?
All right. Well, I rolled a 7. So I think this really tracks with what I was imagining for this character. So that's standard crew attire, a nail gun with 32 rounds, a headlamp, a tool belt with assorted tools, and my favorite part, a lunchbox. I love it.
Your
I've
Harry
got a
Dean
big
Stan.
green Stanley lunchbox with the thermos
it.
and everything, full of sandwiches, man.
Okay, so write that down in the appropriate place. All right, so that's load out, and we will take a break real quick. What do we got up next? Just so we know. Oh, trinket and patches. Those are always really fun. Okay, so we'll roll on those when we get back, but we're going to take a break, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. All right, we are almost finished up with character creation, so we have a couple of fun steps left here. You're going to roll for a trinket and a patch. So trinkets are just random little things that may be useful, maybe not, that you have on you. What they mean to you is completely up to you. They could just be complete random crap that you could give a shit about, or they could be something that's very personal to you. It's totally up to you, but they are totally random. So let's go backwards this time. Ted, why don't you roll me a D100 and let's see what you get.
What a low number. I rolled an 11. It's my rejected application for the colony ship.
Colony ship. You tried to get out of here. It's so sad.
Oh, man.
Why would I save that? Oh, I'm
Just a
sick.
reminder of your biggest failure.
Again, that might not be your rejected application, right?
Oh, it absolutely is.
Maybe it's your ex-wife's. You know what I mean? That's
There you go.
Matt,
She got accepted and I didn't, and that's why I've moved it.
There you go.
or she was the one that was approving your application and the biggest stamp of rejected it.
Yeah.
D100.
Okay. I will see your 11 and I'll raise you. I rolled a 6.
6.
Corroded Android Logic Core.
That's just
Ooh.
perverted, dude.
So
this is getting
logic core
even.
is an android's brain.
Now we know where David's is.
Yeah, Matt and I have a really interesting dynamic that's building here with all of our gear. My turn?
Maybe that's
Your
your old. I have your old brain.
There you go.
There you go.
Sick and twisted is what it is.
I got a 29, which is a bag of assorted teeth.
Sweet. That's messed
Who
up.
are you? You're like,
You're a
okay, yeah,
collector.
you got an Android brain? I got teeth. Yeah.
That is so disturbing, dude. That is
No wonder our therapy sessions always go so poorly. We're just looking at that bag of teeth.
All right,
All
you
right,
ready?
my turn. All right,
Mike.
55.
Ooh, big
Banner.
number.
Is that like a wrench?
A spanner, yeah. It's a
Oh,
wrench,
yeah.
It's a British
Oh, that's
wrench.
great. You got something useful.
Cool. So you probably stole it from Ted. All right.
Always looking for my spanner.
Okay, patches are also fun. They are literally like a patch that you sew on your clothing. Again, they could have significant meaning or not, or may not even be yours technically, but you ended up with one. So let's go back around. Mike, roll D100.
All right. 81. Help wanted.
Nice. Great. David, these are all great.
awesome.
I love these. What'd you get?
Muted, David.
You're
I know,
muted.
I know. Oh my God, I'm here. All right, I got a 96. I love myself. This is wild, y'all. This is wild. Everything I'm rolling is it's
Completely
too,
autobiographical.
It's like they designed a game or something.
no, but
David-
like the android psychiatrist with "I love myself" patch on his corporate attire as the wellness liaison is just too.
So good.
David, show everybody the bag of teeth that you keep on your bookshelf back there.
What kind of teeth do you think they are?
Okay. Let's see. That's a 68. Almost nice. Let's see.
Oh, this is perfect for Matt.
Travel to distant places. Meet unusual things. Get eaten.
That's good stuff. Love it.
That's good stuff.
And Ted.
All right. Instead of rolling, John, I would like this patch for my guy right there.
Third Man Records.
Yeah, man. It's part of my idea for the character. He's into classic late 20th, early 21st century music. And so he's got a Third Man Records patch on his uniform.
All right,
Ted.
Dad.
If you have to be different, Ted, that's fine.
You're gonna pass up an opportunity to roll on the amazing table.
Yeah, because I want that
You
patch.
got to roll on. You got to roll on the amazing table anyway, just so we can see what you
All
got.
right,
I'll
you gotta
roll
roll
on the
the table.
table. I'll roll it on it anyway. But if it's Chibi Cthulhu, I'm not taking it. I'm taking the Third Man Records.
Paid you.
95. Do you sign my paychecks?
There you go. It's perfect for a Teamster.
That actually does kind of fit.
It's a back patch,
All
too.
right, I'll take it. Do you
I
sign my
love a
Ted, you can
random
have
roll.
both.
Yeah,
Sweet.
you know what? Yeah, I vote for that. You can have two patches. Too.
That's how magnanimous I am. All right. Lastly, you all get to roll 2d10, multiply it by 10. That's how many starting credits you get. Credits are the universal currency in the game.
Oh, holy shit. Oh, wait. I might have screwed myself. I got it. Hold on one sec. Oh, can you see?
Are you wearing pants?
That
I am
groaning
working
is
on it.
really great
Okay.
for the.
Can the podcast
wait.
listeners see, Mike? Can the podcast listeners see?
I rolled
you-
double zeros. I rolled
Nice.
double zeros.
All right, you
Good.
maxed out.
So I'm
Sweet.
rich. And I'd probably unplug my camera in the process of doing that.
Stole my
I-
spanner. Andy's rich. Come on, man.
All
I
right,
rolled a
so
12. So let's go back in.
15.
okay, so 200 for Mike, and then 120 for David. Matt.
I rolled a 15, so 150 for me.
Okay.
And classic Teamster, I get paid the least. I have 110.
Okay, cool. So you guys can spend that. You don't have to do it right now if you don't want to. But on page 10 is the equipment list, followed by weapons and armor. You're not going to be able to afford almost any of this. So just so you're aware of the notation for costs, it can be a little bit confusing until you get used to it. CR is a credit, okay? But note that a lot of these have another letter before that, which indicates 1,000 or million. So KCR is 1,000. So if you look at the bioscanner, that's not a 3 credit item. That's a 3,000 credit item. All right. The body cam is something more like you might be able to afford, right? And if it is in an M, which I don't know if anything on here is an M. No. But there are things that are M's, and M's are million credits. Okay. Very, very big. All right.
So you
So
have
just
to wait a couple of sessions to get that.
on page 11 of equipment, you can see down there in the lower right hand corner about carrying capacity, encumbrance. This is the one where this is the one part of the game that kind of diverges from classic OSR play, where encumbrance is not rigorously tracked. It's very much like a feel based upon realistic weight capacities of human beings. So just sort of like if you can make the case that you to me that you can fit it on you, then you can probably handle it. But don't go crazy and don't try to pull one over on me. Okay, so
Wouldn't think.
I think that does it. Last thing is to choose your name and pronouns. Does anyone have a name ready to go? You don't have to have one right now.
Do.
Okay. Oh, everyone does. All right, let's roll through it. Go for it. Yeah.
Where are we starting?
Let's start with Ted.
Okay. I'm trying to decide between big, fat, ugly, bug-faced, baby-eating O'Brien or Cromwell Dixon. So I'll probably do Cromwell Dixon.
Cromwell Dixon. Okay.
I like long spacewalks, pina coladas, Led Zeppelin, collective bargaining, and zero-G date nights.
Hell yeah. You're my kind of dude. How do you spell Dixon? With an X or CK?
With an X.
With an X. Okay. Cromwell Dixon. All right. Matt, what do you got?
My character's name is Thulsa Dew.
That's amazing. How do you spell?
It's like killer bangs. Right? THULSADU.
Oh my god!
Can you put umlauts over that "do," please?
That's so fucking awesome. Also do. Oh man! All right.
He dies first.
I'm trying to. Okay, Tulsa do. All right, David.
All right, a slight change in tone. Not as a reference to any movies, but my android will be named David.
Yes, perfect.
Yes.
There you go.
Of course, will conjure up images of a certain movie character.
Sure.
Goes without saying. Okay, and Mike.
Rick Sharp.
Rick Sharp. How do you spell Sharp?
All right.
That's with an E on the end.
I knew it was going to be with an E at the end because you are a unapologetic naval combat literature guy. Okay.
But the E is on the end of Rick. It's RICKE. Oh, and then regular Sharp.
Rick Sharp. Rick Sharp, David, Cromwell Dixon, and Thulsa too. I'm going to laugh every time I hear that.
I should have been his brother Husker Du.
Yeah, that's right.
It's D-O,
He made
right?
it onto the colony ship.
Is it D-O or D-U, Matt?
DU.
D-U. Oh, okay. It is like Husker Du. Okay.
Yeah.
Husker Du.
Thulsa Du. Okay. And then up in the there should, I think, where is it? Next to your player name should be a thing called high score, which is just that's you're gonna mark that as 0 right now, or just leave it blank. That's actually just how many every time you survive a session, you get to mark another point on your high score. They kind of leave it nebulous.
Technically, we've all survived this one, so
it could be used.
Close.
They say like it's very nebulous. It's just more like a fun thing to just sort of track, which is likely what I'll use it for. But they give you a lot of options for what it could be used for, like a reputation system. They use the bad word metacurrency, which I despise, so I'm probably not going to use it for that. But it'd be fun to track, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. Now, the last thing is a step that isn't in the core book that is specific to gradient descent.
Okay.
And that is a secret stat. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the name of the stat. I'm not going to explain what it means. And you're also going to track that stat. All right. That stat is called the bends.
Cool.
It measures something secret. All you need to know is that the higher the number goes, the worse it is for you.
I'm going to roll 100.
All right? And you can mark that score right now at 0. Take a moment to appreciate the fact that your bend score is now 0, because it will never get any better for you than it is right now.
I feel great not having the bends right now. You know, that's
I don't have a good feeling about this.
yeah, man. This is where the collective bargaining falls apart, man. All right.
Okay.
I personally can't wait to die in space. It's gonna be great.
All right, so let's see where we got. Where are we now?
Time for the campaign.
Yeah, so the campaign in general. All right, so we're going to be playing through this pre-published module. It's Gradient Descent. It is a wonder of information design. It is a full, extremely large, extremely dense mega dungeon in space that is contained within 64 pages, which is astounding considering that the Halls of Ardvul, which is one of the largest mega dungeons, if not the largest, was over 1,000 pages of dense information. The dungeon in Gradient Descent is nowhere near approach the size of Ardenvul, but it nevertheless does very much qualify as a mega dungeon. It is not a simple romp through like a derelict ship. But it's very, very different, obviously, because we're talking about sci-fi survival horror here. So the lessons that you learned from dungeon crawling through Ardent Vool, very, maybe I guess like just the way that the skill that you guys have gotten from playing Ardent Vool as players will definitely be applicable here. All of the OSR playstyle stuff you can bring to bear here, but just realize that the assumptions about the dungeon and how you go about exploring are going to be wildly different. All right, there is no like turn by turn sort of thing going on or anything like that. Even the way that we're going to be mapping is going to be completely different. It's all going to be very sort of flowchart node based rather than actual like realistic spatially. Right, it's just more about like connections and relationships of rooms and chambers to each other. If you even get into the dungeon, who knows? We'll see. So we'll go over that in a second here, but let me just go down sort of what I have written here in my outline. So first of all, for PC expectations for you guys, I already said common OSR wisdom in your approach to the game and the setting. All that stuff is sort of ingrained in you already, so just play like you've always been playing, and you should be good to go and well prepared for the game. Key thing to remember is that unlike D&D, even earlier versions of D&D, you're even more of a normal person than you are like in BX D&D, right?
Tell me about it.
You're a normal person in a strange environment. If you have, it's in that way, the most popular game that it's reminiscent of would be Call of Cthulhu, right? That game is very much like where you're playing everyday people that are facing insurmountable odds, and it's how you sort of react to that. So that's very much what you are. Be under no misconceptions that you guys are in any way heroic or superpowered or anything like that. And that's reflected in the stats, right? Like how generally poor the stats are, and that it's basically how you react under stress. Right. Much like the OSR in general, dice rolling is the last resort. Most of the time, if you explain what you want to do, it will simply happen. You guys are already very, very good at this. Just ask me questions. It's that back and forth of information sharing that kind of moves the game forward. Violence is extremely punishing, like really, really bad. Like if you get into if a violent encounter starts, it's I know we've sort of talked about this in our Delve Detoxes and previous campaigns about that in OSR as combat as a fail state, and I know like. Modern OSR theory talk doesn't like that phrase anymore, combat is a fail state, but it really does matter. It really is a thing in Mothership. It's reflected in the mechanics. So straight up fights will very, very rarely go your way. Very rarely. The other big difference between this and D&D and other Neotrag games is that there's no leveling. So you're just going to have to sorry, but that's just the way it is. There's no way around it. There is some mechanical advancement that takes the form of increased saving throws, saves, I should say, when you take shore leave. And there is also skill training. We already talked about skill training take a lot of time. Shore leave doesn't take as much time as skill training, but it does require you to actually like go to a safe port and like hang out there for a little while in order to increase your saves. And all you're doing is increasing your saves. So just be aware that's like the only like mechanical advantage really. So character growth is all diegetic in world. It's about the influences you make, the stamp you make on the world, the equipment you get, the treasure you find, all that sort of good stuff. That's how you make your character better, is all within the world. It is very little of it is reflected mechanically. So just be aware. We already went through the basic rules and mechanics. Just remember that I said this before, but it's really key to understand. Every time you fail at something, you gain a stress. Okay, always, no matter what.
Anytime you fail a die roll.
Fail a die roll, but I also have they also give GM fiat for I can give you stress for anything I sort of feel like at the time. Like if I feel it's right, I may just be like, you walk into a room and see a horrific thing, you all take 2 stress, right? That sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Gradient descent itself. Okay. So the themes that we're going to be talking about here. Okay. What's really cool about Mothership is that it's specific niche, right? So it's sci-fi horror, And anyone who's familiar with Mothership knows that it has a very, very rich third party community, creating like lots of like interesting takes on the system to explore different themes. And Gradient Descent is no different, even though it's a first party product. It's very, very specific in its theme. So although you might think of Mothership as being, which it definitely is, inspired by Alien and Event Horizon and movies like that, you might be surprised about the kind of themes that we're going to kind of be delving into here, the kind of horror that we're going to be dealing with. So I'm riding a fine line here and explaining the themes, but also not trying to spoil anything. But I just want you to kind of wrap your heads around sort of like what we're going to be thinking about here, what we're going to be kind of exploring. The central question that we're going to be exploring is, what does it mean to be human? And all the infinite variety of how you could possibly answer that question. That's going to be the central philosophical sort of quandary that we're going to be kind of exploring. Another themes that we're going to be exploring is artificial intelligence, androids, corporate interests, and their impact on human society. Okay, for good and for ill. And then as far as possible trigger warnings, things like that. I know you guys, you're my good friends, so you're going to have to just suck it up and deal with the kind of stuff that's going to be in this campaign. You don't get to bow out, sorry. But for audience members out there, we do want to give you guys a chance to kind of assess like what kind of content we're going to be dealing with. This is an open sandbox game, so we don't know what kind of things they're going to be encountering or going to be dealing with, so I can't promise that all of these things are going to show up or will not show up. But just want to be aware that this is the possibility of these things may occur. So there is possible loss of character identity, control, and agency. That's a big theme in Gradient Descent. So you may you may be coerced into doing things against your will, that sort of thing. And the last thing, well, there's typical horror stuff. So gore, body horror, extreme violence. There may be allusions to torture in the game. If there is any torture that shows up, will fade to black, sort of thing. No gratuitous depictions of that. However, I like my horror movies, so if there is gore, I'm probably going to get pretty gory in my descriptions. Though probably the roughest one that people may have to deal with is that there very likely may be depictions of harm to children. Okay. So just be aware that that is a thing that is, I wouldn't say prevalent, but it is in there. So just be aware. Okay. So those are the things that we're sort of dealing with.
John, the main thing that I'm uncomfortable with are gratuitous descriptions of bare feet. So if we could avoid anything like that.
That falls under body horror, Mike. I think it's
no Tarantino scenes then, right? Nothing like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't mind that part, but I mean, if you're talking about like hairy toes and stuff, I gotta go up.
Noted.
Change my character's name to Hairy Toes.
Yeah, right.
That's actually a good Teamster name.
Right?
Hairy Toes.
It's actually a strong name, Ted. You should take into consideration.
I don't know.
That's pretty good.
I'm going with Cromwell Dixon.
Okay, mapping and exploration. Let's switch over to Miro. Whoa, what? Whoa. Okay, so this map that the audience members are seeing out there, if you're watching, and you should watch, is just a sample. This depicts nothing real, but this is sort of like what our maps are sort of going to look like. Thank you for David for putting this together. This is reminiscent. This is Miro, which is an online whiteboard, a blackboard actually. But the style of mapping here is very reminiscent, and audience members can take a look over here. This is sort of like what the maps look like in Gradient Descent. Very similar. So the spatial relationship here is completely abstracted, right? The distances mean nothing. It's just connecting points between chambers, and so whoever ends up mapping, Ted, if you want to do the honors like you did last time, or whoever, it doesn't really matter. You'll just be doing shapes with certain icons, and we have an icon list over here. Also, courtesy of David for putting this together. We downloaded this from some lovely user's itch.io account. It has a bunch of icons here to label. And it's going to be nice because it's basically free-flowing, so you can sort of rearrange things as you want. And the nice thing about the Miro whiteboard, too, is that you can actually shift things around, and the connection points will actually remain connected. which is kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
If you do it right. So we'll go into more detail about that later. But if you scroll up and out, you'll see the star system that we're dealing with here.
Ooh.
Yes. So this is basically your entire universe that we're going to be dealing with the campaign primarily. So this is the Gematria cluster. Now, if some of you nerds out there may recognize some of these names and how they all sort of relate to each other, I'm rather proud of myself for coming up with this. So you can see here that there are a couple of planets here with some orbiting moons and space stations. The lines connecting them that are labeled with J's are jump ones, which means that it takes like one fuel, like jump fuel core burn to get from one to the other. J3 is basically outside the cluster, takes you back to what's called the Boleskine cluster. However, your destination for this campaign is going to be what's known as the Deep, which is an abandoned production facility that is currently blockaded by some ships. The Deep is orbiting a moon called Baphomet 3, which in itself orbits the terrestrial giant Baphomet, which is a ringed planet like Saturn. So that is going to be your destination.
All right.
Cool.
Now, in general, probably go more over this in episode 1 when we sort of set up like what's going on and how you're going to be reacting and all that kind of stuff. But in the game Mothership itself, just the generic game, there's just sort of like the company, right? If they don't ever really give it a name in the base game core set. However, in their modules, like the company takes like different names depending on what module you're running. For Gradient Descent, there is a defunct company, but they don't actually tell you what the actual name of the company is. So, for purposes of our campaign, the company is known as Thelema. All right, Thelema Industries.
Cool.
Just like it sounds.
Yeah, Thelema. That should ring a bell when you compare it to the names on some of these star systems. My system map here. So Thelema Industries has its operational spheres are terraforming, mining, colonization, synthetics and AI, ship manufacturing, weapon manufacturing, and asset protection. They are every bit as horrible as that sounds. So, they are our campaign's version of Wayland Yutani, right?
But they're defunct, you said?
No, they are not. They are very, very active. In fact, they are the company that your union contracts out to all the time and that you're probably working for or have worked for in the past. Okay?
Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, the Gematria cluster itself is on the rim. The jump station, the primary jump station endpoint for entering into the cluster is the Rabelais shipyards. And there is, you can take a jump from the Rabelais shipyards to the planet Typhon, which has the space station known as Prospero's Dream that orbits it. And then there is the Baphomet as well, which is where you're going to be headed. I have more details, but I think we're going to leave that for episode 1 because it gets into a little bit more nitty-gritty about the setup for the campaign. Anyone have any questions?
I do. So I know from reading the player's guide that space stations and stuff are rated on a letter scale. So Prospero's Dream is a space station X, which means I think it's like a dive scum of villainy and so on, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Rabelais Shipyards is a B, which I think means it's sort of a basic one, but it's not super ultra.
Blue collar industrial or a large scale military installation. But it's a shipyard, so that's like an industrial station. Yeah.
Okay, so Baphomet 3 has a C. Is that a similar scale there for planets? It's a rundown out of the way outpost. They describe it like refueling stations, forward military posts. So it's like the lowest of the low, like along with X. It's just like X has that criminal factor. C doesn't really have that as much. So it's just sort of like a very poor moon, right? Okay. So the moon doesn't have a lot on it. It's just one working base kind of thing.
Right. It's like partially terraformed. You see what I'm saying? Like basically
Okay.
like subsistence sort of thing, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then you can see that the big planets, Typhon and Baphomet, are one's a gas giant, one's a terrestrial giant, but they're completely uninhabited by humans, anyways, that you know of.
All right.
Okay. So the last thing is the jump 3 to the Boleskine cluster, like the next cluster over, is 3 jumps away. That is the home cluster for the Thelema Industries. They control like every aspect of life in that cluster on all bodies. Okay.
That's back
So are
home.
we basically on like the edge of their influence?
It's on the edge. No, they are very well aware of like the Gematria cluster. Like it has like they have what's the word I'm looking for? They have a lot of interests in the cluster, both in Prospero. In the 3 main stations, Prospero's Dream, the Rabelais shipyards, and the Deep, are all they have vested. That's the word I'm looking for. They have vested interests in all 3 of those.
Gotcha. I'm just wondering if we're kind of like on their frontier. Like, is there more? Like, could you go past this? Oh my God, I'm never going to be able to say it. this is
Mike's not a good game.
Gematria or Gematria?
Gematria.
Either one of those.
Okay. Is there like another jump point past here? Like, can you go? Like, how close are we to the center of power for them? If it's not part of your back,
That's what I explained. The J3 line to the Boleskine cluster. That's the route back.
No, I know that,
But you can't go farther out. Yeah,
you can't go farther out.
Not from here. Those jump lines are the only major navigable space lanes.
So there's only one way out. Got it.
Only one way out back to the Boleskine. But the Boleskine cluster is like very rarely well populated and civilized.
Gotcha.
One way out. That's very ominous.
Yep.
One way.
The first thing I thought of here. Also, the names of the things in here, like Baphomet is obviously like an occult figure that, you know,
Rabelais and Thelema.
Rabelais was a humanist. Prospero was a sorcerer that created storms on islands. Like, I'm definitely sensing a theme here with the naming of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Typhon is the god of storms. So is the Typhon system, like, it says it's uninhabitable. Is it like dangerous?
It's you could see a gas giant, toxic atmosphere.
Okay.
Uninhabitable. Just a big. It's like a Jupiter, right?
Got it.
But the reason that it's important is that Prospero's Dream, which is a like a teeming multi-million person inhabited space station, is orbiting it. Okay.
Are they mining that gas giant for gas? I guess
some interests are, but it's an X-class port, so there's a lot of different and wacky things going on there, and we'll explain that during episode 1.
Okay.
So switching back to the main
Can we just start now? Let's just start playing now.
All right. So, is there any other questions that you guys have, or anything you want to ask about with the game?
Yeah. How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
Another bug hunt.
John, I didn't see ammunition costs. I only have 4 rounds for my shotgun.
50.
And
it's the top line on inside the cover here is ammo.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So,
should I buy a scalpel, guys?
yeah, you guys can feel free to load up with more equipment based upon what you have for credits.
Okay.
I'm just shy of being able to afford a trank gun, which would be very on theme. I'd love to be able to administer medication.
Right.
I don't want you to have that.
Like, I kind of want to borrow some money. Is there like a loan shark or something that I can go to? I could use a smart bomb or something. I don't know. Okay. I don't have any questions, John. I think this looks really unnerving. These names are making me unhappy. And
No, but you guys, I'm ready to go live forever in space. I think this is going to be great.
That is so going to happen.
Relevant to the map, although I don't know that it'll be pertinent to our activity since it's going to be mostly within the deep. But I'm curious because I don't remember top of mind how fueling with jumps works. Is like each jump designation like a fuel expenditure?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's very abstracted. It's just, the number is like the number of fuel of like, jump fuel you need to get from one point to the other.
But I say that a bit as a leading question because it would follow that some of these dingy or criminal places people come and never really have the cash to get back out.
Absolutely, it's very, very expensive. It should be known too. Like we'll be detailing all this in episode 1 when I give you the setup and everything. But it's very, very rare to like own your own ship. Right. Like most everyday people like you, they book passage or they're contracted out on a ship or something like that. You know what I mean? So you don't ever have to worry about that price. It's handled by big corporations. But that's like the only sort of entities that can afford that kind of stuff. You have to be crazy wealthy for like an individual to actually be able to afford that. That's why like owner operators are like really well respected in the galaxy, especially out there. Yeah,
that makes sense.
We're kind of like the average Joe's living in that. Did you guys watch or read The Expanse?
Oh yeah,
I watched everything. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people living in those tunnels. They're having to pay their air tax and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's us.
Prospero's Dream actually has an oxygen tax. Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh hell.
Yeah.
This is more of a rules question. You can buy lockpicks, but what skill is it to use them, or is it just assumed that you can use them unless you're about to be eaten by a monster, and then you have to do it under stress, and then you make a roll?
Yeah. So if it's a door that can be picked, you know what I mean, and you have all the time in the world, you just do it.
Okay.
You know, but if it's under stress or duress, it'd depend on the circumstances. Like, are you trying to do it quick before the monster gets you? Then speed, right? That sort of thing.
What if he's trying to do it without tripping the alarm?
Under duress, and I would still almost say like speed. You know what I mean? Probably.
It's time. Yeah.
So the assumption, even with something as sensitive as like, if you fuck it up, the alarm will go off. If no one's watching, we got all night to do it. It's fine.
Yeah. If it's, well, I mean, I would look at the complexity of the lock. Like it might require like an intellect roll, something like that.
Okay.
So
okay.
We'll feel it out. I've never run this game.
Not. So, sorry. Worry not. I have a corporate key card. I will take you anywhere you need to go.
Yeah, there
Sweet.
you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Key card to what? Like a strip club or something? Isn't that kind of wasted on Androids?
It's a VIP corporate key card that will get you, Ted, anywhere you need to go.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right.
Cool. All right.
I'm jazzed. I'm psyched. I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
me too. I like the way that you guys' characters are shaping up. I'm digging them. Look forward to see how they die.
Do we want to take a quick over under on how many sessions for total party wide?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm giving myself three.
3 sessions.
Yeah.
3.
I'm gonna die in the second one.
Dulcadu will live forever.
I'm also going to live forever.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. I've got a lot more ready to go for like the opening setup and everything like that, but I don't want to like kind of piecemeal it out here near the end. I'd rather just save it for the next session. So
I think it's a good idea. Yeah, we're at a good bookend.
That'll be episode 1. So everyone out there, thank you for watching and or listening to us go through this campaign intro and character generation for Mothership. We also hope you enjoyed it. You have been watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line. We are the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. You have a solemn duty that you must do, and that is to feed the algorithm. So like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications every time we publish new material. If you're new to the channel, we do invite you to go back and look at our previous campaigns in Dolmenwood and in the Halls of Ardenvool. Also, if you have a few extra bucks, you can hook us up with a Patreon subscription. You'll get some extra bennies, and don't forget that paid tiers now will have access to our upcoming and or current, depending on when you're watching this video, Return to Dolmenwood campaign, which is exclusive to Patreon members. So do check that out. And thank you, as always, to all of our Patreon members, our explorers, our delvers, and our conquerors. Conquerors get their names read aloud at the end of every episode. We rotate through that. Tonight, I am starting it off afresh. Here are our Conquerors. Our new ones since the last time we played are Jess Rutherford, Brutes Monkeys, Joshua Owens, and Pierre Osterland. And the rest of the fine people, we have the Mighty Martian, Christopher Bishop, Banana Hammock, the finest, of course, AJ, Joe, Michael Sauer, Adam Lovelace, Desiree Marcel, Grizz Loves Games, Dustin Reedy, Benjamin, King of Jupes, Rock of Sages, Arcane Lane, MP, Todd, Brawler Jake Ain't Joshing Around, DM Dr. Rob, Robert Kenyon, Steve, Jeff Marino, Alan Barton, Eric Tsunami MD, Samuel Dillon, Gregory Distelhorst, Yesterday's Glory, Mike Small, Richard Barton, Isaac Spencer, James Boyle, Doc Jones 73, Jackson Bates, John Hooker, Zachary Hall, Saps, Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mercury 605, Ruben K, Dar Jr. in Space, I Got Me Helmet, Procyon, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Quisenberry, John and Law Logan, Kabrowski's, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, Nakanu, Nick, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, Ted Gast, James Doig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, Adam, M. Mont, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabrielle, Chongus, Brawler Josh Ain't All Jake, Iona, Michael Walker, Hand Dandler, Summon Toast, Too Rude to Ishvan, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Yearsley, Mechjack, Kickmaniac, Dire Grew, Tom Eric Garrettson, and last but not least, the Matts, Matthew Mattis, Matt Walsh, Matt Mason, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you all for your continued support. And lastly, some new thanks. I want to thank our fellow 3D6 DTL member, David, for creating all of the art and graphics and overlays for this new campaign. Stunning, absolutely stunning work. Check out his links down below in the description.
Thanks,
and also check out the links for for Hank, our buddy, friend of the channel, Hank, who actually created the intro music that you heard at the beginning of the episode. Did a stunning job. He's just a fan of ours, and he did that for us, which is amazing. So thank you, Hank, for that wonderful, wonderful intro music. We love it so. And that'll do it for tonight. We look forward to starting this campaign, and we will see you for episode 1. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.
See you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.